Hi guys, so I can't believe we're heading towards the end of 2019 already. Very scary how far this year's gone, and also heading towards the end of a decade. I can't believe that a whole decade has flown past already and we're entering 2020 in just 2 days time. So scary to think back over what has happened personally in 10 years, and also nationally. You know, we've had 2 Olympics. We had the fantastic 2012 Olympics here in London. I was lucky enough to see the women's road race in London. I was down by the Mall, and that was absolutely fantastic to experience my first Olympic Games event. It was just a great atmosphere, and I think everyone will come to agree that London put on a great show. It was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, entering a new decade. So, kind of a nice little video to try and end the year. A little review of the past year and decade, and looking ahead to the next 12 months and the next 10 years we have ahead of us. So it's really nice at this time of year to kind of go back and think about what you have achieved in the last 12 months. Whether you're a seasoned runner, you've been running for years, decades, whether you're new to the fantastic sport and the community that is running and runners. Maybe you've just completed your first Couch to 5K and you're looking ahead to 2020. But, you know, be proud of what you've achieved this year. Again, if you've currently injured or have been injured the last 12 months, it's always good to appreciate how far you've come, and to know that also, you know, an injury doesn't last forever. It can be overcome, and we can move forward and plan what we can do. So just a really nice way to kind of spend kind of 20, 30 minutes for the next couple of days and think back to your previous 12 months. Maybe look through your running diary or your normal diary, or look through your medals like mine at the back here, or look through your mementos, social media, have a look back through your photos, and just remind yourself of what you have achieved in 2019. I'm sure for most of us, we might have put a few races out of our head for various reasons. Maybe they didn't go to plan, or we found them really tough, or maybe we've just forgotten what we did at the beginning of the year. So just, you can go back, have a look back, and maybe write down 3 to 5 things that you have achieved in the last 12 months. Even if you're new to running, you've only been running maybe a couple of months, still be proud, still look back and think of what you've achieved. Maybe your 3 things could be: you've completed a Couch to 5K program, maybe you ran your first park run, maybe you've joined a running club. If you're a seasoned runner, maybe you have achieved that PB you wanted, maybe you covered a distance you set your goal on, and maybe you have made some new friends. That could be one of your points as well. For me personally, 2019, I did the London Marathon. It was fantastic. Didn't quite go to plan, but it was still a fantastic atmosphere, and so glad I did it. And while doing that, I raised awareness for the mental health charity Mind. That'd be one of my things. Secondly, has got to be my ultra. Before 2019, never thought I would cover an ultra. I always thought that they would be for those serious runners, those people who loved marathon distance and were quite happy to run a few miles extra. So that'd be my second. My third will probably be the events that I've done with my running buddies, such as the club trip to the New Forest, my ultra again I did with 3 other buddies, and also most recently I did the Jolly Running event, and us ladies had a great time at that. So that'd be my kind of three things personally from me. Also, as we are nearing the end of the decade, maybe try and take your mind back to the last 10 years. If you're a seasoned runner, take it back as far as you can for the decade, or maybe you've only been running for a year or two. Have a think back and remind yourself of exactly what you've achieved. Whether you just started running maybe a few years ago, that's a big achievement, or you've met your partner through running, or you've done some more volunteering events over the past 10 years, and look back. Maybe 9 years ago you were couch to 5k runner, and now you do marathons every couple of months. You know, just remind yourself of how far that you have come as a runner. And again, write down 3 to 5 things that you have achieved or done or experienced through your running over the last decade. Again, for me, it has to be, I completed 2 marathons. I think maybe after my first back in 2012, I kind of said that maybe, you know, 1 marathon, you think about 2, you're a nutter, maybe, you're mad. That's kind of how I see it, and I was lucky to have done that and completed 2 marathons. Secondly, I think I would write down, for me personally, over 10 years, I have loved and becoming part of my running club, Hollington Running Club, and I hope that I have become kind of a main key person in the running club and someone that people can chat to and welcome runners along the way. Thirdly, probably my biggest achievement of the decade was getting through 4 years of injury. October 2013 to about August, September 2017 was 4 tough years. I definitely have to put that down as one of my achievements. I've managed to get through injury and I've come out the other side, and I like to come out and say I've had a stronger runner now, and also I'm in a better position to assist other runners who are injured and, you know, help support them and show them it won't last, and you can come back and you can re-find your love of running, and also your running life you will get back. So that's 2 things for looking back. So now, as we're entering a new year, a new decade, we're entering the 20s. I'm sure that doesn't mean we will be running in flapper girl outfits and fringing and things, but we are entering the 20s, I'm guessing. So again, it's nice to think about looking forward and planning and thinking about things you wish to do and achieve in the next 12 months. It could be maybe you want to volunteer more at races or bark runs, maybe you want to join a club, maybe you wish to set your goal of running a park run every month, maybe you've just completed couch to 5k and your plan is to progress to a 10k, maybe a half marathon. Maybe you do some weird race like a donut rush run. I think there's some things out there like that. A pizza run. Or raise money for charity. Whatever it is, let's plan for 2020. Again, if you're injured, you can still plan. You know, plan what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Maybe you've got a favourite race you still haven't done, but you want to take part. So, again, let's go for 5 things you want to achieve next year. Write them down, and I'm sure you have lots of inspiration, but if not, have a look on maybe a few running websites, event websites, maybe look at your club, maybe look at a few running magazines or anything on YouTube and see what takes your fancy. I'm sure you can all find 5 things that you would love to do. With these goals or reminiscing back of the past 12 months, 10 years, write them down. Write them down in the back of your running diary or back of your diary or your family calendar, or just write them on a piece of paper and put them in the envelope and put them in your sock drawer or your running kit drawer and just have them there. And then maybe you'll re-find them next year or a few years' time. You go, oh, that brings some memories back. And finally, I want you guys to do something looking ahead to the next decade. I know, looking ahead 2, 3, 6, 10 years time is quite a scary thing to do. But also it can be quite a lot of fun. So have a think about what you wish to experience, to run, where to run, and write down 5 things. We'll go for 5 because it's 10 years. So let's go for 5. Write down things that you wish to achieve. And these things, I want you to just go mad. I want to take inspiration from friends of mine, Robert and Lissa, who run Here With The Ears. I've taken this from them. As in the summer when we saw them, they kind of challenged us to write down 1 or 2 big goals that you want to achieve in the next few years. And the idea that if you write them down, you can start maybe thinking and planning of a way to achieve that big goal. For them, a few years ago, they came with the idea of living in Disney World in Orlando, and they've nearly completed their year of living in Orlando. They've done it. So I want to challenge you to 5 things. Just go mad. Just go mad. Have dreams. Really think about 5 things. Things that are so mad or weird that when you tell people, they go, what are you talking about? Or that is never going to happen. Or you're just mad. So maybe in your 5 things, it's to run the Marathon des Sables. I mean, that is pretty tough and pretty strong challenge. And also just getting to the Sahara Desert is a challenge yourself. It could be running a race in every county in England or every state in the US. Or maybe it's running on every continent in the world, or maybe it's running in Antarctica, or maybe it's doing an A to Z of race names you do, or A to Z of park runs I know. It could be running in a hippo costume in the Chicago Marathon. It could be running around the Grand Canyon. It could just be anything. It could be running on the moon. I mean, let's face it, you never know. It could be starting your own race. It could be starting your own running club. It could be inspiring other people to join you. It could be setting up your own clothing line. It could be designing your own medal. Whatever it is, 5 things. Just mad things. Just mad, absolutely mad things. But also things that are possible and you never know. You could achieve 1, 2 or 3 of those things in the next 10 years. 10 years is a long time to go. So just go mad. Just scour the internet, have a think, look at a world map and just throw a dart at it and go, I'm going to run in Belize. I don't know, whatever it is, write down 5 things. And I think for all of us, especially those runners that have been injured, is that all we want for the next 10 years is to run and run and run and not be injury prone. Yes, we might pick up the odd niggle there, but we hope that we never have to suffer another big injury. So I understand that one of the goals would be just to run and be able to run for as long as possible. So just 4 simple exercises, 3 to 5 things that you've accomplished this year in 2019, 3 to 5 things that you've achieved, experienced, got out of running in the last decade or however long you have been running, and then 3 to 5 things you wish to achieve in 2020 and 5 things that you wish to achieve in the next decade. Just enjoy looking back at what you've done and remind yourself of all the great things you've achieved and all the challenges you might have overcome, and then look forward and plan with excitement of what you might do in the next 2 to 3 months, 12 months, 6 years, 8 years, whatever it is. Have fun, just take time out. There's kind of maybe busy time or weird time between Christmas and New Year. Just take time out, you know, half an hour, plant yourself somewhere or have a think about it while you're on a walk or your next run. Let your mind wander and then come back and write them down. Cheers, guys.